What's up, y'all, and welcome to the 136th edition of the Take One Podcast. I am your host, August C. Jones, and so today we got a few new things that I'm going to touch on, as well as I'm going to do some backfill, which I'm just going to tackle some stuff that I didn't get to tackle. So we got quite a few things to get, to tackle on this podcast, this episode of the podcast, which is some trailer reviews. I'm going to do, I know it's late as hell, but I'm going to do my top 10 most anticipated films of this year. Two of them are already passed, and I didn't touch the order ever since I made it. Just been procrastinating, whatever. I'm going to do that on this episode, as well as I'm going to do 3 movie reviews. And it's all leading up into Reviewers Cast episode 3 for this week. And then I'm going to be talking about some stuff later on this week. But I'm talking. Let's go ahead and get right into what I want to talk about. So the first thing that I'm going to get into here are the trailers. And so today, the final trailer to Black Widow had dropped. And I love this trailer. Like, looking at it, I don't know. I really didn't have too much going into this film. And it's odd because it is on my most anticipated list of this year. But as well as some other films that don't really have any good, like banging, knock it out the park trailers for me. But they made it on that list. And this one made it on the list. I'm not going to say what number because I'm going to tackle it, later on in the show. But this trailer, out of all the trailers for Black Widow, is the best. And those trailers did sell me on the movie. I got a little bit excited for it. This trailer literally got me super excited. And that's the thing, that's the object of a trailer. Is they're supposed to get you excited to watch the upcoming movie, to get you to see it. Especially if your anticipation was like really low, it's supposed to get it up, at least up above that expectation. If you wasn't really expecting, like you didn't really care, it's supposed to get you to care. And those first 2 trailers got me to care, but this trailer got me to really be on board. Like, I am really looking forward to this movie, and I'm glad I put it in the place that I did on the most anticipated list. But yeah, I really did like it. It gives you the story. The other trailers didn't really give too much of it. It gave you a little bit, one aspect of the movie. This one gives you what it's all about. Basically what she's doing back home and everything else, as well as it gives you more of Taskmaster. And just, it don't really give his purpose in there. So he could be a throwaway villain, or he could actually be a villain to where he has a good, backstory and stuff like that. The overall design of Taskmaster is awesome. And anybody who don't know Taskmaster he is one of those villains. He has, photographic reflex. If he fights you, or if he sees a fighting style, he can mimic that, while he's fighting you. And in the trailer, you can see that he mimics Captain America with the shield, and we've seen the other trailers. And I think he kind of mimicked, Hawkeye with the arrow, because that's what I thought it was at first in the first trailer. And in this trailer, he mimics Black Panther, so I was like, I was thrown out by that. And yeah, the design of the suit looks crazy good. Just it looks dope as hell. And this movie shows that it has a crazy amount of action. It has crazy, it looked like it has some great action set pieces. And it has that family dynamic that even the other trailers show. But you really see it up in here that they have this family dynamic. And I hope it plays well all throughout the film, because I feel like that's what it's really like based off of. I mean, you got the story of Black Widow coming back to shut down the program that made her who she is. And from what the trailer showed, made her sister the way she is and everything else. But the family dynamic seems what is going to keep her grounded. Is what's going to keep her who she is. And of course, this is a prequel. to like the Avengers or whatever, or yeah, I think the first Avengers, because Taskmaster, you can see him looking at video of her fighting in the hallway in in the second Iron Man movie. Was it? Yeah, the second Iron Man movie was before the first Avengers movie. So yeah, he is on the hunt. What is his actual purpose in the movie? Don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. But this trailer was fucking crazy. It was crazy. It got me really on board for this movie. Like my anticipation is through the goddamn roof because this shit knocked my socks off, and I am truly excited to see this movie. So when tickets go on sale, I'm most definitely gonna get them shits. But yeah, that's my opinion and then my thoughts on the Black Widow trailer, the final Black Widow trailer. So let's go ahead and move on to the other trailer. So about a week and a half ago, it dropped the new Candyman trailer, or the first Candyman trailer produced by Jordan Peele had dropped. And so my thoughts on it, and I'm gonna give it real quick since it is kind of old or whatnot. I like the trailer. It does have some Jordan Peele-isms in it. Like it looks like it should be part of the Us and Get Out type universe and everything else. But I liked it. It shows bits of horror. I don't know if it's going to go full psychological horror like the other ones. It more than likely is, or if it's going to go straight horror. But what it showed up in the trailer, I really did like. And it does kind of hint towards psychological toward the end of the trailer when you see the main character looking like he's going insane, and he's seeing himself looking like Candyman up in the mirror or whatever. As well as this is a sequel, this isn't a remake. Even though it has the same title as the original film. I don't know why movies are doing that now, but whatever. Whatever. The R&B song Say My Name didn't work for me. It worked for me up in Us, and it still worked for me with I Got Five on it. It worked perfectly with that movie, with the trailer and with the movie. Like when I hear it, it's creepy. Like doom 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 doom, like that. It's just creepy as hell. And they picked the right song for that trailer. For this trailer, Say My Name, it fits because it's like you say Candyman's name, say my name, whatever, but it just didn't fit in the sense of them using it. I didn't like that aspect of the movie. Or the trailer. I really didn't like that. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I gotta say about the film. The only thing that I would really point out what really did me for this trailer was the opening bathroom scene. Like, that was crazy. They got all these white girls in a row saying Candyman's name or whatever in the mirror 5 times, and nothing happens, and they think everything is all peachy until they can't open the door, and then they just get slashed to pieces. Like, that shit looked like it's gonna be batshit crazy in the theater. But other than that, I really did like the trailer. Like I said, it did have Jordan. It did look like it's a Jordan Peele movie, even though he's just producing it. But same thing kind of happened with Michael Bay and the Ninja Turtles films. He didn't direct it, but it looks like he directed it. So I don't know. Maybe that person was just like, "Oh, I like what you did, so I'm gonna kind of like mimic that." I don't know. But in any case, that's my thoughts on the Candyman trailer produced by Jordan Peele. Now that we got those out the way, let me go ahead and just get this out the way. Just get this out in the atmosphere before any more movies come out with my most anticipated list. So here are my top 10 movies in the most anticipated of 2020. I'm going to try and get through this. I'm not going to make it too long. I'm going to try and get this as quick as possible. So at number 10, A Quiet Place Part 2. I really did enjoy the first film, and I'm curious to see where the second film is going to go. It looks like it continues straight from where the first one left off. And just, I want to see what more they can do with it, because the first one was built on a gimmick of just quiet and everything else, and you can feel the tension and a whole bunch of stuff that this movie brought that I thought did ingenious. And I want to know if this second one can do the same thing, bring back that same feeling, because everybody in the theater watching this film quiet as fuck. You don't even want to chew popcorn. You just want to be quiet. So I want to know if this movie does, keep that flow and does something more to make it be like, oh, this is better than the first one, or at least at the same level. So number 9 is Tenet. Tenet is the newest film by Christopher Nolan. I enjoy majority of his films. Still some films that I need to check out of his, but this trailer got me. It got me. I don't know too much about this movie, but I love how it shoots. I love how Christopher Nolan's movies look, and this isn't any different. Denzel's Washington's son up in here, I forgot his name, and Robert Pattinson up in here. Denzel's son, I'm gonna just call him that. But I really do like him. I liked him up in Black Klansman, and he looks like he does a great job up in here, as well as Robert Pattinson. I liked him up in The Lighthouse last year, and I'm still kind of getting on the Robert Pattinson train. I was one of those people with like Twilight or whatnot, but in any case, this movie looks good. The trailer looks intriguing. Don't know what it's really about. Hopefully, the next trailer will give more of an insight. But I'm really looking forward to it. Next one, number 8, Godzilla vs. Kong. Like the second one, didn't like the first Godzilla movie. Like Kong, Skull Island, and this one looks like it's going to be awesome. We got like a little thing or whatever, little trailer. Seen on the internet, just like a little glimpse of them going at each other. I want to see where they're going to go with this. The second movie of Godzilla, it was like, okay, this is all carnage and chaos. So how is Kong is going to fit into this? Who's going to win? Who's going to come out on top? And I don't know. I'm very intrigued on seeing where this story is going to go, because I honestly couldn't think of a storyline to take this anywhere. But in any case, number 7 is No Time to Die, a movie that got pushed back because of the coronavirus. I saw every single Bond movie that Daniel Craig has been in, and I have been a fan of it. I am a fan of him being James Bond, and I think that he is a great James Bond. I can't contest to say that he is the best or one of the best, because I haven't seen a lot of the other ones, but I really do enjoy him. The trailer for No Time to Die looks incredible. It looks like they're going somewhere with this where it may end up being one of the best of the series. I can't say this might be better than Skyfall, but it may end up being one of the top 3 best Daniel Craig Bond films, and I am really anxious to see it. I'm mad that they had to push it back to November, because it was about to come out real soon, but when it does come out, I will be in theaters seeing it on the first day. Number 6 was Bad Boys for Life. Already seen it. I'm coming out with my review later on this week, so go ahead check. Y'all can go ahead and check that out. Subscribe to the channel and everything. But it was a movie that was on my list to where it looked, from the trailers, looked incredible. Looked like it was going to be one of those movies where like you just, you enjoy yourself. And I love the chemistry between Martin and Will within the first movies. And it looks like it was going to carry on through this film. And it looks like the action was going to be crazy and everything else. So if you want more of my thoughts on that, just stay tuned to my channel and you'll get my full thoughts on the movie. Number 5, New Mutants. Movie that's been pushed back year after year, and it's finally coming out, and it looks crazy. It looks bonkers. It's a superhero movie that's taking place in a horror type setting, and that is intriguing to me. I love horror films, and I love superhero films. So it's the best of both worlds. What is not to like about it? And then the latest trailer that had came out for it looks fucking incredible. I'm definitely am on board with seeing this first night. Definitely am. Number 4, Antlers. Antlers, the new movie by Guillermo del Toro. I love his creature designs and everything else, and this movie looks like it's going to be bonkers. It's just a simple story of a kid is feeding these monsters. I don't know if his parents that turned this way, or I don't know what it is, but they end up escaping and chaos just breaks loose. And it looks like it's going to be one of those horror films that is going to just scare the hell out of people. And I hope it does, and I hope that it's a really good horror film, because I am really looking forward to this. Number 3, The Photograph. Really, I was looking forward to this. To me, firsthand, it looked like a 50 Shades of Grey type of film. But you know, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna give my full thoughts. I believe next week I'm gonna do it. February films and everything else. I'm gonna do that next week. But that's what I thought. And it looked like it was good. It looked like it had some good chemistry between the characters, both of the actors up in there. I really do like how they are in like other films and everything else. And it looked like it was a movie that was going to be awesome. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because you're going to have my full thoughts. And yeah. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Love the Conjuring movies. The first one is one of my favorite films of all time. One of my favorite horror films as well of all time. And, I can't really say too much about the other spin-offs, but Conjuring 1 and The Conjuring 2, love both of those films. So, of course, I was going to be on board for this one, and hopefully it doesn't disappoint. Either it's better than the first and second one, or better than the second one, or just on par with both of them. I don't care. Just as long as it's good, great, I will be ready. And number one, as I said before, as you kind of hint, Black Widow. Just seen the trailer, so I'm glad I put this at number one. Reason I put this at number one was because it's an MCU film. And of course, at the end game in Spider-Man Homecoming, it was like, I'm going to see what the next chapter is going to bring. What is going to start. And what significance this movie has with the new phase. Phase 4, whatever you're going to call it. And after seeing this latest trailer, I'm glad I put it at number one, because I'm truly excited on seeing this movie. And so that wraps up the, most anticipated list. I'm going to run through it real quick, and then I'm going to jump into the movie reviews. Yeah. So, number 10, A Quiet Place Part 2. Number 9, Tenet. Number 8, Godzilla vs. Kong. Number 7, No Time to Die. Number 6, Bad Boys for Life. Number 5, The New Mutants. Number 4, Antlers. Number 3, The Photograph. Number 2, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Part 3 of it. And number 1, Black Widow. So that is my most anticipated list of 2020. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first movie review. So the first movie is Gretel and Hansel, and it stars Sophia Lillis and Alice Krige. I think that's how you pronounce it, Krige. And it's basically the movie it's the story of Hansel and Gretel, which it takes like a twist. That's why it's called Gretel and Hansel. And so let's go ahead and get right into it. So this movie, it was a artistical, I don't even know if that's a word, artistic type film. If you're a fan of 820 with like their movies like The Witch, Hereditary, Midsommar, and stuff like that, that's kind of like what they call the artsy-fartsy type films. That's basically what this film is, because it's not like your straight out horror. It's more playing on the psychological horror aspect of like just the story. And it's just about this witch who finds Hansel and Gretel or whatever in the woods. And you know the story. They come to the house because, it's made out of candy and all this stuff. But they come to the house because it has food up in it. And like they're homeless and they're looking for a new home and everything else. And so she entices them with the food. But then slowly they start to realize that everything isn't what it seemed when the witch starts to try to get starts to make Gretel her apprentice, and things just kind of go downhill from there. But I did like the acting in the movie. The acting was great from Sophia Lillis as well as Alice Krige. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. I really did like their performances up in the movie. And I like the dark tone and the feel and look of the film and everything else. I really did dig that. This movie isn't your typical horror film. You're not going to be sitting there, jump scares here, there, and everywhere. It's kind of like a movie that's going to have some like weird things happening. And that's what I kind of liked about it. I really didn't expect too much of like jump scares from this movie, even from the trailer, because I feel like the trailer accurately kind of like delivers what the movie actually is. And it didn't show it to be like a jump scare fest, and then when you go see it, it's not that. So I did kind of like that about that. And just Alison Krige. Like, she does a great job with being a witch. Creepy, scary, and everything else, and she pulls it off. Like, she just delivers that shit. And I say, like, she's like the best part of the film. I can say it. She's very chill and creepy as hell. And yeah, like I said, it's more of the indie type film, so it's not horribly big budgeted and don't have a crazy amount of like CG it up in there. And it does, like I said, it takes a twist on the classic tale of Hansel and Gretel, and it does focus more on Gretel. That's why her name is first Gretel and Hansel, because she is the older sister. And the movie is basically about her. Hansel is played the background. It's like things happen with him. He's around, but he's not the main focus. And it's like I really did like it. I really did like it. It wasn't a crazy great movie. I wouldn't be sitting here going like, you should see this, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to see something old but then original, go ahead, check it out whenever you can. And hit or miss, I say it's a hit. I really did like it. Check it out. So the next film is The Turning. It's a movie. The end. But nah, so The Turning is just about the school teacher played by Mackenzie Davis, who gets a job to homeschool this little girl at a mansion. And when she gets there, starts to begin to see that like things aren't what they appear to be, especially when her little girl's older brother comes back from boarding school, and things just start to get weirder after that, and she starts to unravel a mystery going on with one of the people that used to live there. And this movie, whatever you heard about it, it's no lie at all. This movie has no ending. Will piss a lot of people off. I would not recommend it to anybody because it seemed like an incomplete movie. It really did. I'm not going to get into it how it ends, but guarantee you, it caught me off guard. It would catch you off guard. Mackenzie Davis does do a good job in this movie. She wasn't crazy, charismatic, or whatever, but I guess color me biased because I find her sexy as hell. So yeah, but she did do a good job. It is a jump scare. It is a jump scare fest. So be looking out for that. Characters make stupid decisions, and kind of through the film, you feel really like nothing is happening. That's really what it seemed like. I don't know. It just really seemed like nothing is happening. And one of the things I do like about it is that it has things going on in the background that you have to keep your eyes on, that it don't really kind of, focus on, like, this is right there. It's like as you're watching it, you might kind of see something. You're like, did I just see that? Like, did that, and I like that. That you have to keep your eyes peeled on stuff like that. And if you miss it, you miss it. But if you see it, then it's like, oh, that's to add a little bonus to it. And just to let y'all guys know, if you haven't seen it, I know one of the things that stuck out in the trailer was the spider scene. It's not in the movie. So don't be looking for it. It is not in the movie. And the movie does do a good job with the psychological aspect, but it ends up derailing once it get to that part. I ain't even going to say the end, but once it get to that part where the movie just goes off. It kind of like falls. And it doesn't become anything more. This movie is, like I said, it's not a rewatchable movie. It's not a movie I would recommend. So out of a hit or miss, it is a miss. It's a real big miss. A lot of people say it's a big mess, but I just say it's a miss or whatever. I'm not going to bash the movie, but it is a movie that was just not good. Just not good. So, those are my thoughts on that. And so, getting to the last movie. Let's jump into the last movie, which is Dolittle. Now, I don't know what's going on with with RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. You would think that coming off an Endgame and the MCU and everything else, that he would want to try to do some movies that will put him back in the limelight and show his acting skills and do something totally different. And in a sense he did, but this was not the movie to do it. Just about Dr. Dolittle, who wife had passed away, And so he ends up becoming a recluse and staying at this like animal sanctuary where he just plays around with the animals and everything else until the queen who gave him that sanctuary, and as long as she's alive, the sanctuary is protected. But she's on getting close to dying, and he has to try and find a cure to it. And so in order for him to have still that sanctuary, and they go on this big mission to find the cure to keep the queen alive. And man, this movie, it seemed like it wanted to be more epic than what it was, and it just was not that. It really was not that. A lot of the jokes just fell flat, and to me, the accent of Robert Downey Jr., I really didn't mind it at all. And it bothered some people, but it didn't bother me. But when it comes to it, it is reminiscent of early 90s Disney films. Like, if you pluck this film and put it in the 90s, it literally will fit in. It would completely fit in. And it was just, I don't know. I guess if you like that, it's a good thing. But I don't know. It's like a good and bad thing, depending on how you look at it. And make no mistake, this movie is literally for kids. It is literally for kids. I don't see any adults getting anything out of this movie. Even though I heard some adults laughing, I don't see any adults going like, this is a great movie. This is a movie meant for kids. The jokes and just everything that's accompanied with it basically shows it. And like I said, it was a bad film for RDJ. Fresh straight out of Endgame. He should just go for more indie films that show his acting skill, his acting prowess, because I don't want to see him fail and show that he really needs the MCU and everything else. But with this movie, one of the aspects that just went against it was way over budgeted. Way over budgeted. I think it was like over 100 and something million. It was a crazy amount. Like, it just didn't need to be that, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say because it was a flop, and I can see why. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't a great film. It wasn't a great film, nor was it a good film. But hit or miss, I give it a miss. It's a movie that, if you have it at home and, you want to put something on for your kids to watch, cool, whatever. But for family, I don't know. It's not that type of movie I would recommend, but hey, to each his own. If you like it, you like it. And so with that said, that ends this episode of the podcast. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and I'm going to try and be more consistent. It's just work and life, man. It's just trying to balance all this stuff. It's just crazy, but I'm trying to be more consistent, especially with the new podcast that I'm bringing onto my channel and bringing more movie reviews, more show reviews, and music reviews and everything else. I'm going to try and keep it coming. But yeah, with that, that is it. Thank you guys for listening, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Hey, before you guys leave, make sure you hit that like button as well as that subscribe button. And you see that little bell? Make sure you hit that to turn on your notifications. That way you'll be notified for anything that appears on my channel. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.